If your marketing isn't working, it's probably not because you need more content or a new logo or an entire rebrand or new website.
Small business owner, it is none of those things. It is probably because you're talking about what you do in your marketing messaging instead of talking about the problem that your customer is trying to solve.
Marketing works well when someone reads or hears what you're saying and thinks to themselves, oh my gosh, they see me. This is exactly what I've been dealing with and the solution that I'm looking for.
And that can only happen if you, business owner, have taken the time to understand their pain. I'm Janae.
And I'm Brooke, and this is the Big Bad Marketing Podcast. We help small business owners with big dreams and small budgets build businesses that actually work without a massive agency budget or a marketing degree.
And today we are breaking down what pain points really are in business, how to find your customers' pain points, and how to use them in your marketing so it actually works and gets you more sales, builds your revenue, grows your business. Yay.
Woohoo! Let's
Let's
do
do this.
this. Oh man, how many business owners do we talk to that will say things like, I have been marketing my business, it's not working, I'm not getting customers in the door, it just feels like people aren't seeing me, they aren't hearing me. So common.
Brooke, it's so common. And it's funny because even when you're saying that, I'm like, okay, we're like mechanics, we're marketing mechanics where people come in and they're like, my marketing's not working. And then there's so many different reasons that that could be the case. And a lot of times it's this thing that you share with us and you remind us on a regular basis, which is like you can't send one email and then be like, my marketing's not working. Just like you can't go to the gym one time and be like, I don't have a six pack yet.
Right.
uh, so, like in the diagnosis process, a lot of the times we uncover that, hey, okay, you're just not being consistent with your marketing. You haven't committed to it, you haven't been doing it long enough, you haven't built the list, right? But I think at the bottom of all of those things, whether you've been committed and consistent or not, is do you even understand the real reason that some of your prospects would buy your thing? Do you understand the pain that they're in and the solution that your product or service solves, that you are speaking about it that way?
Yeah, and one of the first things that we ask of a prospective client or a client when we get on one of our first calls is, all right, give us your elevator pitch. So
You.
give us the quick and dirty on what you do and pretend like we are just random strangers who don't know anything about you. How do you describe your business to someone else? And a lot of times in those responses, business owners are talking about what they do, the thing they sell, how their process works, how passionate they are about the thing they do, the features of the product
Oh
or
my God, 99
service.
features.
Yes, and that is all lovely. And that
That's
is
so
the
cute.
internal workings of your business. But, Janae, what are prospective clients actually wanting to hear in that?
They want to know what's in it for them. I'm
Oh,
like, is that a new t-shirt for us? Is like, what's in it for me? If
yes.
your elevator pitch and like, can we take that a step forward? If you're marketing messaging across the boards, whether that's, we rely on elevator pitch because that's just like this one central section that is going to inform so many things that you do. And if you can nail it with the elevator pitch, then the rest of it will flow. But all of the messaging that comes out of your business, whether that's ads and posts that you're putting online, or whether that's the language you're using on your website, it should all very quickly and easily answer this question for your end user, your customer, your prospect, your lead. What's in it for me? What am I going to get out of this? People are narcissists, not in a negative sense. People are just like concerned about what they need, what they want, what is in it for them.
Oh, yeah, everyone is selfish. And what we are having to do as business owners is we are catering to the problems of our customers and helping them solve them, right? And those problems generally result or stem from a pain point. So if you are not connecting with the frustration of your customer, if they're not able to see your messaging or hear your elevator pitch and think, oh, yeah, that sounds like me, I can relate to that, then it's
Oh, I
likely
have that
to
problem
be
too. Yes.
exactly,
It's so
exactly.
annoying.
Yeah, exactly. And isn't that like the fastest way to friendship too? Of like the, oh my gosh, me too, right?
Shared
That
grievances.
instantly makes you feel connected to another person when you're like, oh my gosh, they get it, right?
Yes, yes. This is like such a small anecdote, but I love bridging connection with strangers, like in a supermarket when there's a really long line in the store and we're both standing in line, being like, oh my God, can you believe this line? Like, exactly to your point, the fastest way to like build a connection and have a shared experience. And the same is here true in business. Like we want people to feel like we relate to them, we understand their pain, because maybe we didn't say this explicitly yet, so let's just clarify for small business owners who are thinking about their superpower and the thing that they do and not necessarily from their customer's perspective, is all business is solutions. Any business is providing a solution to a problem. And whether that problem is like, I need a new t shirt because mine has holes in it, or like this software does not support my business growth, like whatever those problems are, anytime you are exchanging like finances in a business context, it is because you, as the business owner, are solving a problem for your customer. And with that in mind, a problem means the customer has a pain. They have some, like literally, excuse my French, a pain in their ass. Like they have a pain, and your service or product solves that problem. It's a solution to their problem.
Yes. So, business owner, it makes sense then that as you think about your messaging and the way that you convey what you do to other people, that we can orient that messaging around pain points because they are the problem that makes someone go looking for a solution,
Mm-hmm.
right? And even
Mm-hmm.
if they're not looking for it, maybe they see it and are reminded that it's a problem for them, right? So, because not everything begins with an outbound search. It might just be, Janae, to your point with the t shirt, like, oh my gosh, that's a really cute top. And I have one similar, but it's kind of like dated and holy. And like that would be a good way to upgrade my wardrobe, right? And those are more
Mm-hmm.
like the impulsive purchases that, you know,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, the level of pain is sort of arbitrary and depends on your business and industry, right? Like we're talking about different things across different verticals. So,
Yeah.
yes. But I think the point here being like the better that you understand your customer's pain and what problems would drive them to seek a solution, and the better that you can then reflect that and articulate that problem and that pain back to them through your marketing, through your messaging, the more successful your business is going to be.
Absolutely. And if you're listening to this and thinking, okay, I don't know the pain, how do I figure it out? Stay tuned because we are going to cover the 5 questions that you can ask to reveal the pain points to use in your messaging. But before that, let's just kind of talk about pain points more generally. And Janae, like, what are some of the things that we see small business owners doing or hear them doing, and what can they do instead?
Okay, so I think the big one that we hit on already is that business owners often try to frame their marketing, their product or service, as all of these 97 features that their product or service has. So that's like, instead of being like in sympathy, empathy, and in service of like, hey, you're having this challenge. That must be really frustrating. I know what it's like because I'm also spinning my wheels and yada, yada. And then I found this amazing magic solution and it has helped me. And now I don't have that problem anymore. Instead, they're like, Are you dealing with this? Okay, great. Because we're going to give you this and it has this and it has this and it also does this and it's amazing. And people are like, did you even know what my problem is?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. So earlier this week, I had the opportunity to be in a room of incredible business owners. And one of the exercises we did together was to step through the elevator pitch and went around the room, was hearing some elevator pitches from different folks. And at one point, someone said, and we use innovative techniques. And I said, what in the heck is an innovative technique and why does it
Mm-hmm.
matter for me? Like, is your innovative technique going to put me out of pain? Is your innovative technique going to give me a better experience? If so, how? So that is a prime example of something that we might say, oh my gosh, this is really important because other businesses like us are not using innovative techniques, but we are. But we have to always turn the lens and think about it from the standpoint of a customer who doesn't care how you do the thing that you do. They care about what's in it for them and what output they will
The
receive.
outcome. Yeah. Eventually, they will actually care about the features and they'll want to learn more. But our initial marketing must be about the pain and not all of these features. Because then once they're like, oh, they understand my problem, they're going to help me solve it. Then they're like, let me read a little bit more about how this solution works. And that's when you'll be like, we use an innovative this and that. But I was thinking it's like that. Nobody's waking up being like, damn, I wish that someone had a 3-step framework to share with me, right? They're like, God damn, this is hard. Why isn't what I'm doing working? This is really frustrating.
Yep.
So, the more we can talk to that, the better success we're going to have in positioning ourselves correctly to help them deal with their challenges.
Absolutely. And if the marketing messages that you're putting out are not connecting with that frustration, it is likely to be lost in the shuffle, right? Because nobody cares that you have been best of Charleston for 5 years in a row, and nobody cares about your business until they understand what's in it for them,
What's in it
period.
for them? Okay, yes, let's start making t-shirts on that.
Oh, yeah.
And what we're gonna do now as we talk through some real examples so you can listen to how a business owner of a real business might start thinking about this and mapping, okay, what is my ideal customer's pain? And then how do I solve that? And how do I talk about this? So, we're going to share some examples and we're going to go through, like Brooke said, some of those questions to help you figure it out yourself. So, go ahead and grab a piece of paper right now so you can work through this. But we're also, after that, going to help you outline exactly how to talk about it and where to implement these pieces about pain points into your marketing so you can start seeing that shift happen where your customers really feel like you are talking to them and not telling them all about these amazing features of this thing that they didn't even understand in the first place.
Yeah. And if this is resonating with you and you like this type of really tactical advice to help you move your business forward, then you would love the monthly Big Bad Marketing newsletter. So go ahead and sign up, bigbadmarketing.com/newsletter. Get on our list. We're only going to holler at you once a month or when it's very important. And we promise to slide into your inbox with all helpful, great information and some funny stuff and some things that we're loving lately. So hop on the list, bigbadmarketing.com/newsletter.
Do you think we should have wrapped that in pain? That that
If
ask.
your if your inbox just feels like a bunch of garbage and you wake up thinking, I wish someone would send me a more exciting email to my inbox, we got you.
There you go. I love it. Yeah, we're like, you know you need to do marketing and you don't know what to do. You're overwhelmed because there's so many things you could possibly do. We're going to tell you exactly what to do so you can go, ah, I know exactly what to do right now.
That sounds like a great spot to be.
Okay, Brooke, take us through. A real example of a business owner for a business owner, let's call it a personal trainer, which maybe you have some expertise in because you are also a personal trainer.
Oh, fascinating how that all works together. So, as a personal trainer, you sell generally 30 or 60-minute training sessions with clients. You try to get
Mm.
them in as many times a week as you can. So, what you are offering to people is training sessions. But how do you sell training sessions to someone? Because, go ahead.
Oh, this is what you do. You're like, these are 60 minutes and they include robotic engineered arm curls and they include separate equipment that has engaging processes.
And we'll chat the whole time so it doubles as therapy. That is
So you
actually
are, is that,
my favorite part of training. That might be a legitimate pain
oh,
point. But ultimately, what you are trying to sell to people is, hey, your clothes aren't fitting the same way that they did a few years back. You are lagging in energy in the middle of the day and you feel like after lunchtime that you are ready for a long nap. You are just not feeling confident in your body and you want to show up differently. You want to have more energy when your kids get home from school and be able to go outside and play with them. Like these are the pains that someone is experiencing that might lead them to hire a personal trainer to help them generally feel better about themselves.
okay. So we're saying the solution you're providing is training sessions. And the pain for that is my clothes don't fit. So, an ideal customer who would be wanting to sign up for training sessions, maybe they don't even know that's the solution they need yet. This is all how it's also interrelated. And it's sort of like it doesn't matter if you know and have decided on your core offer and what you sell before you have figured out the pain. You can do that now. Sometimes people are like, what pain do we want to address? And then they figure out what they're going to sell in order to address that pain, right? It's okay. It doesn't matter where you're at. It's just if you're selling training sessions, the pain for that is someone who's thinking my clothes don't fit me, I don't have any energy, I'm not confident. And so then we work backwards to say, okay, how can we, knowing those pains, frame this and message? What is our messaging? How do we articulate this so that what when we're suggesting that training sessions is the way to solve those problems, that people feel like we heard their problems, we know what those pains are. And
Yeah,
I think
and
you said
then
those really eloquently.
yeah, and then how does that translate back into your messaging and things like that, which I think we'll cover off a little bit later, but ultimately, when you speak about what you do, hi, I'm Brooke. I'm a personal trainer and I help working moms get their 20 something bodies back and get back the confidence that they had in themselves and show up more energetic for their families and their friends and their relationships and just bring more vibrance back into their life, which sounds a lot better than, hi, I'm Brooke and I'm a personal trainer and I work out people.
Yeah, or the thing I was going through before, like these ridiculous features and
Yeah.
like why you're so passionate about working out. And you go into this backstory. I know I've said this before, but like when you read the back of a granola bag and it's like, we started this granola company because little Eddie found that growing oats was beautiful. And like, that's where our passion comes from, right? Like, that's
Yeah.
nice. And there's moments where that's appropriate. But in reaching your leads in the first place, tell them what's in it for them, not this will come with specialty equipment that is, what did you say? Like engaging techniques,
Yeah.
innovative techniques. Like
Yeah.
nobody knows what that means and it's cute and you think people are going to want to know more. No, they don't want to know more, not at this stage. They want to know what the F is in it for them.
Yeah. And maybe that's why the brand story is on the back of
Mm-hmm,
packaging and
mm-hmm.
not the front, right? So, what we're talking about today is how do you make the front of your packaging more appealing so that someone literally or figuratively picks it up off the shelf? So,
Yeah, they
Janae,
know that you're talking to them.
yeah, absolutely. So, Janae, talk us through the experience of a bookkeeper and some of the pain points they might be solving.
Yeah, I see that this is happening. And I just want to say, like, I was like, Brooke, why don't you talk through the pain points of a personal trainer because you actually are a personal trainer. On the other hand, are you asking me about bookkeeping? Because I know a lot about bookkeeping.
I think yoga instructor would have been closer, but also too
Yeah,
close to
it's okay.
personal trainer. So
It's okay.
apologies there.
No, that's okay. Okay, so if you are a bookkeeper, what you're selling is the service of organizing someone's finances. Okay, go with me because like I don't actually know what they sell because I'm not a bookkeeper, but like they're like come in and I will help you do your taxes, right? Like these kinds of things, these services, they're balancing your checkbooks, numbers, math, spreadsheets, they're doing stuff like that for you. Brooke is laughing at me. Okay. Okay, this is why I hire a bookkeeper because I don't even know what they do. I'm like, you just do this thing with the books. Anyways, so the service you are selling, the solution you are providing literally is organizing finances, right? But the pain someone is experiencing is I'm really anxious about having to submit taxes right now. Ugh, I don't want to deal with these bank statements. I don't even know what to do with them. I'm avoiding them, all of my administrative receipts everywhere. Like, I don't want to look at this. This is a mess. This is another administration task that is not my skill set because the thing I love doing is helping businesses market themselves and not keeping track of spreadsheets and numbers, right? And I think we get where I'm going with that. So,
Yeah.
with those pain points in mind, we can better articulate and position the solution we're selling, which is organizing your finances, which is like, are you anxious about doing your taxes? Are you avoiding looking at bank statements? I am going to help you with that. I help you stop feeling messy when it comes to receipts everywhere and you stop feeling overwhelmed about all the administrative financial tasks you have to do. And I'm going to organize your finances for you.
Yeah. And it's only after we reveal the pain, we relate to the pain, that we then offer our solution. So once we understand the pain, we can relate to it, we can use it in our messaging, and then say, oh, do you want that pain to go away? I can do that for you.
Yeah, we agitated a little bit. We're like, yeah, that is so annoying. And it's extra annoying when this other thing happens when the IRS calls you and they're like, where's our tax documents?
Yep.
So, did I convince you that I am a bookkeeper?
I think you could seamlessly glide into that profession with only like 5 to 10 years of intense studying and training.
Thank you for the trust that you have in my ability to learn about math.
Yes.
Okay, take us through, Brooke, one more example here that's a little like closer to home for both of us. It is a service, which is marketing consulting, marketing strategy.
Yeah. So, what we sell at Big Bad Marketing is we sell strategic marketing plans and marketing consulting, namely our 6 month package. So,
Sounds sort of boring though.
it is. Oh, it sounds very boring. It's actually
Mm-hmm.
incredible because what we do is we are solving some pain points for customers. So
Mm.
when people come to us, they might have inconsistent sales. They might feel overwhelmed. They might not know where to start with their marketing. They might feel like they've been in business for a couple of years, but they're essentially invisible to the customers that they want to serve. They might have stress over a lack of consistent revenue. And these are all of the pains that lead people to us in the first place. And then we come in with our solution and say, okay, and we're going to offer accountability and we're going to be there by your side and you're going to be able to email us for support and we're going to help you get organized and help to, off the bat, alleviate those feelings of pain for the small business owner.
Awesome. So, what I love is that you gave us a really clear list of like how our solution helps. And I'm curious about when in our marketing do we start talking about those features that you just described? Because usually it's not right off the bat. Usually off the bat, we're like, are you overwhelmed? Because
Yeah.
marketing your business is hard.
Yeah, exactly. And like I mentioned earlier, it's like you speak to the pain. And then, Janae, to your point, you kind of agitate the pain a little bit. Is this really
Mm-hmm.
hard for you? Are you so overwhelmed because there are 10 different ways to market your business and 5 different platforms you could be on, and you're not sure where your customers are actually hanging out? And then and only then, when we get sort of the nod of understanding from the person that
Yes.
we're talking to when we say overwhelmed and they're just like, yes, that is me. Then we can come in and offer that solution and say, well, here's how we can help.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
business owner listener, that's your goal right now. And we're going to help you figure out exactly what your customers' pain points are right now with 5 questions to help you figure out what is your customer thinking and what would drive them to find a solution.
So let's run through, Janae. Give us the 5 questions, and then if we need to elaborate on anything, we can do so at that point. But let's just knock them out so the business owner listening can go ahead and write them down and start thinking about how they're going
You
to
know,
answer
yes.
them.
Okay. Okay. I've been loving saying this lately to people. Okay, write this down. Like I'll just be talking about something. I'm like, quick, write this down. So literally now, write this down. Go write this down. Okay. Question 1. What is happening in my customer's life, or if you're a B2B business, in their business before they hire me? Think about what's going on for them. Why would they seek a solution to hire you? Okay, next, question 2. What is frustrating about the situation that is going on in their life before they hired you? Why is that painful? What are the pains? Number 3, what have they tried already? What have they attempted to do to solve their problem and pain already before seeking this type of solution? Number 4, what's not working? What is not helping them solve their problem and or what is making it worse? And then number 5, last question, what finally makes them realize that they need help? What is that last straw on the camel's back? I'm sort of thinking of like what flicks them right over the edge and being like, I need a solution and I need it now. These are pain points. All of the answers to this question will lead you to the pain points. And it gets even better. Brooke, tell us, if people aren't necessarily excited about doing this as like a thought experiment and thinking through all of that, how can they be like so certain about what kind of pain their customer is experiencing?
Yeah. So if you're kind of wondering to yourself, oh, I'm not really sure. I've never really asked these questions. I've never really dove in that deep with my customers. I'm not sure where I might find that. We can go back through some data that you might have. If you've been in business for a little bit, you likely have email conversations with past clients. You have questions that have been asked of you on sales calls. You might have testimonials. You might have DMs. You might have FAQs that you are constantly answering for your clients. As you sift through these, look for trends, look for themes, look for a potential point of decision that drove people to you and where were they at that time, right? And I think what happens before a lot of purchases from businesses is sort of like rock bottom, like low point. So when is your customer being like, low point, I need help to dig back out of this situation I'm in? What is the straw that broke the camel's back? And if you have data and you have past client relationships to look through, oh my gosh, so valuable. Review the data.
Brooke, data is the key to everything, isn't it?
It's the key to a lot
Data
of
and
things.
coffee
Oh yeah, and dogs, maybe.
and dogs. Yeah, data, coffee, dogs. Okay, so what I am hearing is sort of this like, if a customer says, I was dealing with XYZ and then I started looking for help, that is a pretty clear indicator of their pain. And if we have that replicated multiple times, that is a pretty good directional sense of what is the pain point of your customer. And often that's going to sound something like, I'm so tired of guessing. I don't understand this. I'm overwhelmed, like you said before for us. I don't have time. I feel really stuck. But the idea here is to get super specific that way we can write down a sentence, a phrase, like go write this down.
Mhm.
My customer is tired of blank.
Yeah, and really important to note here, it is okay and it is in fact good to have multiple pain points. It is okay that we are addressing the pain points of overwhelm and short on time and low budget, because that means that we can try different messaging about those pain points and really hone in on what works. So, business owner,
Mm-hmm.
if you are in the earliest stages of your business, test a lot of different options to refine your messaging and see what is working and what is resulting in that nodding along, yes, that's me, aha moment for your prospective customers.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. And Brooke, I feel like a big another data is a key, but also another key is understanding once you've figured out what the pain points are, is understanding how to apply them to your messaging and where these need to be inserted. And this is where like our process is so iterative and layered because okay, now we understand pain points, but something else that comes to mind is like maybe you also have multiple personas. Maybe you also have different ideal customers, and that could be young people and older people, whatever your personas are. That's like a very generic demographic, not a persona. But my point being, different personas that you have might have different pain points, and the reason they're seeking a solution might be different. And so it's okay to do this process for all of those different personas and then to apply the different pain points and understand who is dealing with what and what kind of agitations and pains are they dealing with that we can talk to help motivate them to seek this as their solution.
Yeah, love that. And I mean, truly, you're going to use pain points in everything that you do to message your business, everything you do to market your business. So the first place being in your overall messaging. So that's going to extend to your elevator pitch. Wow, I was totally blank for those words. But that's going to extend to your elevator pitch, all the work you do with brand. It's going to go on your website. It's going to go on social media. It's going to be in every piece of your content. You're going to toss it into your offers. So there are just everything that you do and all the messaging you put out is here's the pain you have. And now I'm going to offer the solution. So, Janae, I would argue to say there's no place in your business that you would not be using pain points in your business marketing, rather.
Yes. And small business owner, entrepreneur who's just starting out, this is a great moment to really track backwards. That's where I was saying, like, it's okay if you know what you're offering already, but you haven't figured out the pain points. It's okay if you've been in business a long time and you've been making offers, but you haven't thought this all the way through to figure out what is the pain that we're actually speaking to. Because now you are empowered with this information, you can start figuring out the pain and then track backwards and apply it to your marketing, to your website, to your social media, to all of your content so that you start being more targeted in the marketing you're doing. And then hopefully with a lot of the things, Brooke and I that we put out as big bad marketing is your marketing starts working and you don't have to come to us and be like, my marketing's not working. I don't know what to do. The diagnosis would not be that you're not talking to pain points and you don't really understand why people would use your solution. So this is such a great starting point, and it's also a great solution point if you're already in the weeds and in the thick of it and you're like, what do I need to change?
Yeah. And Janae, what about the business owner who's like, well, I just sell fruity drinks. I don't solve a problem. I just sell, you know, t-shirts. Because that's a common thing that we hear. Well, I don't really solve a problem. I just do
Sure.
XYZ thing.
Okay, so I can see this going two ways. One is, okay, that's fine. Go sell your smoothies, go sell your fruit on the side of the road. Like, that's fine. Just do it. And you probably will just continue to get the results you've already been getting. And that's fine. But if you are dealing with this and experiencing this as a challenge, and you're now listening to this podcast because you're like, I need to figure out how to do a better job of marketing, then the invitation that we're putting out is to start to reframe and think about the thing you sell, the business you are in, as a solution, and draw that back to what is the problem I am solving. And I think we shared one in the beginning, like, okay, it's easy to be like, I sell t-shirts, it's not really a problem. Like, okay, that's one way of doing it, but you can also reframe and be like, how is a t-shirt a solution? What is driving people to want to buy a t-shirt in the first place? So pain point, problem, like we're using these words interchangeably. Maybe it's not so much a problem as like a excitement, and you're trying to solve for an excitement that someone needs, a need, right? Like there's so many ways to think about this, but the invitation is to get on the other side of your customer and think about what they're dealing with that would get them to the place where they want to buy your thing.
Yeah. And some of those things might be like more broad concepts. For example, belonging. I want to buy this t shirt from this brand because I want to belong. And maybe your marketing messaging might have visuals of people in groups and friends, and that is going to speak to the person whose interest in buying the t shirt is belonging. And similarly, if you do, fruity cocktails, the people that you're selling them to, they might just be thirsty, but they might also want to elevate the experience of their next get together. They might feel like, I'm sick of hosting these really drab parties. Nobody ever hangs out for a while. How can I get people to engage more and have more fun when they're in my space? Ooh, I could elevate the experience by having this, cocktail.
What I love so much about that is the, like, let's draw a line there to commercials, TV commercials. I can't
Mm-hmm.
count how many times I've seen beer commercials. What is going on in there? Are they outlining all of the features of the beer and the process of making it, and what's included? No, they're showing videos of people having fun, and the beer is there.
Yeah.
Pointing to the problem being solved is exactly what you're saying. People feel belonging, they feel joy, they're having fun. It's not this big heady thing. It's just like, this will elevate your life experience. Grab a cold one.
Yeah. And it's funny. I think I was listening to a podcast where they said the reality is very few people use it in that way, and most people are drinking beer alone on their sofa in their
Sure.
in their
Sure.
houses. But that's not how you market a
That's,
product.
yes,
You don't
marketing.
say lonely on a Friday night, grab a 12 pack of Budweiser. You project images of people enjoying themselves and having fun and being the life of the party. And that is where marketing really shines, right? It becomes storytelling. It's the eventual place that you want to be. It's selling the vision of what someone can become.
Of the outcome of what's in it for them.
Yeah.
It is also, I will say, the double-edged sword, and this is probably a good place to cut it,
Mm-hmm.
of the scary, creepy side of marketing and advertising, where it's,
Yep.
dare I say, manipulative, but like it's instilling these subconscious beliefs. And for the alcohol industry, like I do feel confident in being like, it's manipulative and it's creepy and
Yep.
I don't agree with it. And the subconscious like infiltration, it's like giving what is that, Zoolander vibes. But I think the invitation for our small business owner listener is, you are being in service. Your business and your solution is a way to be in service. And the more you can tap into that and help people connect to the vision of them having that real outcome, not a fake contrived one, but a
Yep.
real outcome of feeling more confident in their body, having their clothes fit them again, being energized, right? Like for the fitness professional, that's real. That's not manipulative. That's the real intentional outcome that you have to be in service.
Absolutely. And if you enjoyed this episode and you had some really great takeaways from it, please like and subscribe so that you don't miss a future episode of the Big Bad Marketing Podcast. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening.